My mom put me in dance when I was 3 years old just because she liked me in like pretty pink tutus and stuff, so we did it like recreationally. And then when I was 4, I went to watch the ballet Sleeping Beauty, and I just fell in love with the dancers on point. And I used to put little Dixie cups on my feet to pretend I was like on point shoes because I wanted to be a real ballerina so badly. And so ever since then I was just like, I'm gonna be a ballerina and this is my goal. It wasn't easy. It took a lot of hard work, and I've spent like years with like weights on my ankles doing leg holds and just practicing for hours in the studio and having teachers yell at me, criticize me 24/7, and it's hard. But for me it was just something like I love it so much because it brings other people joy. And I realized that that's what I love about dance, is that I get to share God's light through me. And a prayer I always say before I go on stage is like, God, help them see you through me and through my dancing. It's because of Jesus giving me that courage, because there's been times where I wanted to give up for sure. And there's been times where I'm like, I'm just not good enough, this isn't working for me, like what am I doing, am I wasting my time? But there's always this little voice saying like, no, this is like what you're meant to do. This is how you're sharing me with the world. I've been blessed with a lot of great mentors, but like, I know everyone probably says this, but it's like my mom, because she's really been the one who's been there for me 24/7. And she's the one who picks me up when I fall. She's the one who I call when I'm sad or happy or to tell good news. And even when I moved away to Monaco when I was 12, she was always there for me. She'd always been that encourager and just the person who will like come home, I'll come home to and she'll just give me the biggest hug, so yeah. I wanted to dance in New York in a professional company, but after COVID hit, it was a bit of like kind of a shock and like, oh, is this the lifestyle I want to live? Do I want to keep missing holidays with my family? Do I want to miss their birthdays? Do I want to miss important moments in their life and be controlled essentially by a director who tells you what you can do, what you can eat, what you can wear, what your schedule is for the whole length of your career? And I was like, you know what, no, I don't want them to control me. That's not their job. I was like, I want God to guide my life and for Him to show me the right path to go on. So I reflected a lot during this quarantine, and of course I still have that dream of becoming a ballerina. But what I realized of what I love about ballet is that stage moment where you and the audience have this connection of you bringing them joy. You're shining God's light onto them. You're showing them like, this is who God is. He's this beautiful, beautiful person who just is like, just shines and radiates to everyone, makes them smile. And that's what I love about dance. Is we get the opportunity to go on stage and show the audience who Jesus is and how much love He has for them. I can clearly remember when I was 4 years old and I was with my best friend and we went to VBS at her church, not even my church. And I was sitting in the front row and it was crazy hair day, so of course I had green hairspray splattered all over my hair. And I just remember they asked like, do you want to accept Jesus into your heart? Does anybody want to accept Jesus? And I was like, without thinking twice, I just like raised my hand and was like, yes. And that was so unlike me because I'm an introvert. Like, I do not raise my hand, I do not speak out loud. Like, I don't do the whole like, I'm gonna come and talk to you, you're gonna come and talk to me first. And so it was like, just this like, without like thinking twice, I don't know why, but I just felt like Jesus saying like, yes, Ashley, say yes, yes. And so I just like raised my hand and I was like, yes, I want to follow Jesus. And I don't know, I never looked back. I've always followed Him with all my heart, and He's like been my best friend and has always been there for me. And when I was 12, so I went to Christian school my whole life. So I was consistently surrounded by Christians and teachers who prayed for us before class started and before we ate. And so that was ingrained in my life. Then when I was in 8th grade, I moved away to Monaco at the age of 12. And that's when God really tested my faith. And that's when I had to make my faith not my parents', but my own. I was reading Jesus Calling. I read that every night. I'm still reading it 4 years in a row, and every day it's just like it matches exactly what I'm going through. And I made it not just a routine to read my Bible every night and read a devotion, but it was my lifestyle, because I knew that without God, I would not make it through the whole year. I cried so much. I missed my parents, I missed my friends, I missed what I knew. Monaco's a foreign country to me. I didn't know the language, I didn't have friends there, I wasn't surrounded by Christians anymore. For every Sunday night, I would make time to watch church. And one time it was so funny because after service was over, I just had it playing because I was like occupied with doing my laundry or whatever I was doing, and I heard my mom's laugh through the screen, and it was the most like angelic sound ever, and I needed that, and God knew I needed that. To hear her laugh through that screen, it was priceless, and I knew that was God telling me like, everything's gonna be okay, Ashley. You're gonna make it through. I know it's hard, but you're gonna make it through. And I think that's really where my faith was put to the test, and I grew in my faith because I made it my own. I made the time to spend time with God. I made the time to talk to Him. It wasn't my parents enforcing it on me and being like, okay, Ashley, now pray before you eat. Okay, Ashley, like, we're gonna pray before we go to bed. It was like me being like, okay, hi God, it's Ashley. Like, it's not my parents, it's me. I always say the church is kind of like a glowing string connecting all of our hearts together, and that's how I think of it in my head. It's because it's a community for us to go to and run to, whether we're celebrating, whether we're sad, whether we're grieving a loss. It's a place of comfort, and it's a place that's home. I'm AshleyLew, and I play for Him.